Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that one of our admin received. The translation reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I have come here on your platform because I want your listeners to assist me. I do come from Venda and I came to Johannesburg. When I came to Joburg looking for a job, and then I started working as a security guard. I was staying with one of my cousin brothers who was already here in Joburg. He had been working here in Johannesburg for the longest time. I was just a broke guy from Limpopo, jobless, tired of hustling with nothing to show for it. Then one day, out of desperation, that was when I spoke with this other Nigerian guy who was staying at the same complex where we were staying. So me and this guy, we started talking. We would talk usually about football. And then from there on, that was when he told me that he was surviving by doing online betting. So it did not make sense to me that a man can survive only by online betting. And then he told me that he had a charm. He took me to his room. When we entered his room, I saw that on the walls there were some curtains that were there, that were red curtains. And at this other corner, there was a small table. On top of that table, there was a small doll that was on top of that table, as well as a small clay pot that was full of some red liquid stuff, which I thought was blood, but he said no, it was not blood. I then asked him, how was it even possible? Because this guy, he used to change women like each and every day. He would be changing women the way that you change clothes. So he told me that those women that would come for a sleepover, which he used to meet on Tinder and other platforms, all of those women, they did not even know that this is what was happening at his room. He had a shrine in his room. He said I was the only one that he had opened up my spiritual eyes, and he wanted me to see everything that was going on in his room. So he said, I have chosen you because I have seen that you are someone that has suffered all of their life, and I want you to know what really happens in this world, for the spiritual world is even more real than this world that you are looking at. That was fine by me. I was happy. He told me that when he has to perform some rituals, then what he needs to do is to look for a woman, and then that woman, when he sleeps with that woman, that doll that I saw on top of his altar, that doll will come, and then it will enter into his manhood, and as he will be sleeping with that woman, that doll as well will be sleeping with that woman at the same time. He told me everything about himself and how he had gotten all of these charms. He even claimed that I was very lucky. He said, you are very lucky because when I did these rituals, there was no one who assisted me. I lost a lot of money whilst I was doing all of these rituals. So he said that I was supposed to take that opportunity to make sure that I would also become rich. That was fine by me. He said, if you think that I am joking, just take this money. So I took that money and then I played on Betway, and I saw that I had managed to win a lot of money. He told me that it was because of the money that he had given to me. That money, since it was his ritual money, it was the one that he had managed to make me to win on Betway. I was very excited. That is how I started becoming a ritualist, and that is how he started teaching me everything that I know about rituals. He took me to this other man who was from Ghana. The man from Ghana, he is someone that you can only call here in South Africa. He does not stay here at all the times, but even though he is married to a South African woman, the man then came, and when he came, that was when he told me that I was fit to become a ritualist, but there were other charms that I was supposed to use. The reason as to why I had to use those charms, it was because some of my relatives, they were too prayerful. And each and every time, he said, those relatives of yours, when they are going to pray, they are going to destroy your altar. So let us deal with your relatives before you have begun to do these rituals. He offered me a way to destroy my relatives, those that are too prayerful. For there is a difference between a person that goes to church and a person that is really prayerful. Someone cannot go to church every Sunday, but that person can be a very prayerful person, so much that when they pray, things do happen in the spirit. Those were the people that I was now fighting against. He told me that I was supposed to find a God. How was I going to find this God when I had no money? He said, when you are walking around, just keep your eyes open. So I kept my eyes wide open, and then that was when one day when I was walking, I found out that there was a wallet in front of me. I picked up that wallet and I saw that there was nothing inside of that wallet. When I saw that there was nothing inside of that wallet, that was when I wanted to throw it away. He then said, no, do not throw that wallet away because it was a test. I want you to keep that wallet, and when you have kept that wallet, the money that belongs to the person who is the owner of that wallet, he is going to keep on losing money. As he will be losing his money, then it means that the money will come to you. I did not throw away the wallet, as I had heard a voice speaking with me, and then that was when I returned back to the place where I was staying. Whilst I was there, that was when I found out that there was 10 rand, 20 rand. So each and every time the owner of that wallet, the person who had lost it, when he would get some money, then he will just lose that money, and that money would come into that wallet until I had managed to raise enough money, and then I bought a goat. Brother Nashi, and then I went into the bushes because I did not even know where else to go with it, for I could not slaughter it at the complex where I was staying. I went into the bushes where I ended up slaughtering that goat, and then I left it there. As I was turning around, just walking away, that was when I saw an animal. I really do not know how to describe this animal that I saw, but it looked like a cat, but at the same time, it was moving on the ground as if it was a snake. I kept on walking away, and then I returned back to that Nigerian's place, and he told me to wait for the man from Ghana, for he had left South Africa. I waited until he returned back. When he returned back, that was when he told me that we were supposed to do the second ritual. So we did the second ritual. In this ritual, we were going to kill off one of my auntie who was also prayerful. She was back home in Venda, and we were supposed to kill her so that she won't disturb me later on in the future as I'll be doing my rituals, for she was the one who was too prayerful such that she would disturb me in each and everything that I'll be doing. So I did that, Brother Nashi. I said her name each and every day. When it will be time for me to go to bed, I will stand in front of that mirror until I'll get so tired. Even my voice, I ended up having my voice gone because I will keep on speaking in the mirror, telling my auntie that she was supposed to die. I will keep on swearing at him, looking at myself in the mirror. And then after that, that was when my auntie, she started to develop high blood pressure. When she got high blood pressure, I advised him, and then I said, you need to find someone who can assist you. And then that was when my auntie finally gave in. She then went to a traditional healer, but first she went to a prophet. And when I found out that she had agreed to go to a prophet, that was the most exciting time of my life, for I knew that her going to a prophet, it was going to open up her to other spirits that would make her want to visit a traditional healer. she went to a prophet from Zim, and this prophet had been staying in the community for a very long time, but he was from another country. And then that was when she said she had decided to go to a prophet. I was really excited after she had told me that she was agreeing to go to a traditional healer, for I knew that now I would be able to use the charms and to finally have her killed, because later on she could have disturbed my altars. So my auntie passed away. When my auntie passed away, I rested, for I knew that there is no one else in the family that can stand in her place fighting against the altar that I was building. From there on, that was when I was told to buy a house. I bought a house in a name hidden location in Polokwane in the suburbs there, and the purpose of buying this house, after buying it, it was such that I will be able to use that house to sleep with different women. These women that I was supposed to sleep with, I was supposed to use them for rituals. So I once got a woman when I had returned back to Polokwane. At that time, I had made so much money. I went to this other hanging spot named Uhuru. When I went there, I picked up this other lady, a very beautiful girl, because at that time, when I bought the house, it was just close to that place. I picked her up, and then we drank alcohol, and we then went to my place. I slept with her. After I had finished sleeping with her, that was when I let out that snake, because as for me, I was not given a doll, but it is a snake, not a very big snake, that will sleep with the women that I'll be sleeping with. That is how I became a ritualist. Regularly, when I return back to Venda or to Polokwane, I always find someone to sleep with, and this person, I'll be using her for those rituals. And for the first time in my life, not because I want to, it was in the beginning of this year, that was when I was given a task to sleep with a man. That is what the snake wanted, not to sleep with a woman. So it said, I want you to sleep with a man. I looked for one man online, and then I spoke with her, and we agreed on the money that he wanted. The man then came to my place here in Joburg. We ended up sleeping together. He did not know that on my side, I was not doing it for the love of sleeping with another man, but I was doing it as a way of fulfilling my rituals as I had been told. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who helped us with this message. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Can you even believe it? Yo,